Welcome back to the Saturday Morning Sports Line. Mark Williams, Chuck Greenslade with you, and we're now talking with the head coach of the Wintersburg Pirates, Rob Woodward. Went up to Barnesville last night, and you're able to take down the Shamrocks 24-7. Coach, was an impressive performance. Thought the front line, both offensively and defensively, really controlled the game, and for about maybe a little bit 8-minute stretch there in the second half was pretty much domination by your team.
Yeah, just tremendously proud of the performance that our kids had through their week of preparation, through the 3 hours, and essentially altogether about 45-minute bus ride. We stopped off for a second, got out, and got stretched our legs. But through all of that, our kids came out, and we could tell. A couple of my assistant coaches recognized as we were in the locker room on the field how locked in and focused they were. And you saw that from the opening kickoff. Mm-hmm. Kenyon Evans ran down and was physical on that opening kickoff. As we, Cooper Heimbach puts it back there deep, and our guys fly down there and cover the football so well. And then just defensively, the performance that they had against a very good running back, as you mentioned, up front, just continued throughout that. Offense took us a minute to get our feet underneath us, but I thought Braylon Rucker did a tremendous job stepping into throws, again, managing the offense there in that first half. And on into the second half, they made some adjustments, and we started having some yellow hankies on the field that were backing us up and killing a few drives. We continued to just maintain and keep our foot on the gas, trying to grind it out a little bit and burn the clock. But, again, just so proud of our kids' performance in all three phases of the game.
You mentioned Kenyon Evans, and I made this comment last night. It may have been even after that hit on the kickoff that he made was, everybody kind of thought he was going to be a force on the offensive end, and he has been. But I think he's been more important to your ball club on the defensive side of the football than he has been the offense, or at least it's on an equal plane.
Yeah, he keeps getting better. He keeps getting better each and every week. He's getting more confidence. He's understanding more. We played him in a free safety position over the last couple of years. We moved him down to that outside linebacker position, pirate position. He'll roll at different times and be back in the secondary or kind of move himself over. But it's just taking a little bit to get his feet underneath him and to really understand it. He's aggressive, and when he's aggressive and makes the play, it is tremendous. You look at tackles for loss. I think he was at 8. He probably added more, 3 or 4 more last night on some big plays that were just right there. When they happen, they're big plays. You want to keep talking to him about don't miss some of those. But anyway, his physicality has just gotten better and better each week. And you're right, he's been a tremendous force for us on the defensive side of the ball.
Thought your secondary played an outstanding game last night, making some plays on the ball. They got a couple on you, as is going to happen anytime you throw the ball as much as they had to throw it last night. But I thought by and large your secondary was really good in defending.
I thought they did a great job in the initial parts. Some plays got extended. And when you extend plays and have the time that he had a couple times, that is a tough on a secondary player back there trying to run around and cover some of that. And, one thing we saw last night that we didn't see so much in the film is just the strength of arm of the quarterback.
Yeah, he could throw it.
There was times where I thought the guy was Tingle back there for Ridgewood who could throw it a mile. I mean, when he had some time, he was really able to get it back there deep. But, Jacob Clevenger, when you talk about secondary, man, he stepped up last night with some huge plays, knocking the ball down. Teams always like to try to go to his side at different times. They see a smaller DB out there, but then they don't recognize how much vertical he has, how quick he is with his feet, make-up time, make-up speed that he can do. I thought he made some really big plays last night, knocked down each and every one of the other guys, Mowry, Bivens, some of the other guys rotating in there. They made some plays and knocked some balls down. Miller had to knock the ball down too. Different times, but they had to resort to throwing the ball a little more, and that put us in a situation of trying to put the pressure on him and keep the coverage there. And ultimately, our guys did a good enough job to keep him out of the end zone. One time, a nice play that they ran. They have some nice schemes, and we're able to get in the end zone on us there on a pass play. But yeah, just a great performance by our kids.
I don't know if you were able to compile any stats or anything like that. I mean, I got home as late as you did last night, so that was, But anyway, it was offensively. I thought, again, running the football, that's something that has almost become the bread and butter of this team. We had Elijah Brown close to 100 yards, and we had Rucker over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, I got to thank Dirk Holler, who traveled their game for us last night. Teacher on staff that also helps with our basketball program. Dirk's my stats guy, and he was at the game, and he gave us some great stats last night. Looking at our performance, we had 46 rushes for 249 yards, 6 receptions for 57, so just over 300 yards of offense. Last night, Rucker was 6 of 11. We were in that first half. There were so many converted third downs that we were able to get, and I think they had 0. Because again, our offense was really clicking there early on. We had 2 fourth down conversions, and you mentioned Rucker and his rushing. Looking over here at the individual stats, he had 15 carries for 109 yards. But to me, none of them was more important than that fourth down that we had there in the third quarter when coming out of the timeout, and he was able to keep the ball and then stretch it out across the line for a first down. I thought that was just a tremendous show of growth out of him and recognizing the situation and striving to get that extra ball. 15 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown he had last night. Brown had 17 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. Hall had 4 carries for 20 yards, 4 grinding out carries. I thought Hall ran the ball very hard when he touched it. He's been another addition to our running game. Tyson Emnett was solid with 7 carries, 15 yards, again, yards that are tough to grind out at different times, and he's able to do that. Mowry had 2 carries for 12, and Evans had 1 for 2. Looking at the receiving side, Mowry had 4 catches for 32 yards, Doss had 1 for 18, and McGraw had 1 for 7, rounding that out. Special teams, Cooper Heinbach, I know you probably had that penciled in to talk about here.
Yeah.
Cooper was
I've got to talk about him.
3 of 3 on his EPs, and while we were 1 of 2 in our field goal attempts, that one was another 46-yard field goal. Actually, Dirk has it listed down here as 49. I'd have to go back and look at it when we look on film.
Well, it would have been good from 49 for sure.
Yeah, it sure would have. I mean, and right down the middle, it was like a bullseye target when it hit that. When it hit, the sound in the stadium to me was everybody kind of went silent when the ball was snapped, and then the next thing you heard was that boom, hit that pad on the back in between the field goal posts, and I mean, their players I think were in shock. Of course, we've seen a 46-yarder out of Cooper at the second one of the year. The first one came in the Harvest Prep game when he had another 40-yarder in that game as well. But just tremendous job. Our snapper, Xander Mowry, Holder, Bryson Longfellow, and then our guys up front being able to shield them off and get that timing down, something that we work in practice and we try to keep ready to go, and he did a tremendous job. Kicking off, was able to put the ball in the end zone a couple times. I'm looking here, I don't have the touchbacks in front of me, but that's always something that is just, being able to pin a team deep because you've kicked it in the end zone is always something that we track and try to make sure we keep a hold of. Flipping over to defense real quick, just to throw some numbers out, we were able to hold them to 44 yards rushing on 21 carries. They had 22 passes for 174 yards, so definitely that's a little more than we wanted to be giving up in that situation. But 3 of 14 on third downs I thought was just a big number there. That was so important for us to get them off the field and putting the football away. Tolliver, their lead running back, was held to 14 yards last night on 8 carries. And he's been a guy, 1,200-yard rusher and over 100 attempts. For us to bottle him up, now I know he had a bit of an injury that happened there, but I just thought that's what we try to do, is recognize, what can we work to take away and force the team to have to go to a different, skill set against us. And, how many skills do you have and how well are each of your skills? Ultimately, what comes down in the football game. And our kids, the physicality of play, offensive line, defensive line. I thought our linebackers played an outstanding game last night. We've really worked on Logan Evans, and Brady Doss, and Luke Coons coming downhill with their angles. I thought they did a tremendous job just early on watching the game. Just altogether, super proud of our kids' performance.
Well, you get to move on to the next round, and you will take on a Union local team that sprung a little bit of an upset last night over Nelsonville, York, 23-13. So it'll be heading back up to Belmont County again.
Yeah, back up about 10 minutes north of where we were, on the other side of 70, I think it is, but maybe not quite as far east. And it is a grass field, which always excites me because, I don't get me wrong, I love turf, but I love to get back to the way the game.
That's old school, Rob. That's old school. Yeah,
get out there, and our kids if there are any past players that have to be listening, they know I get excited when we have to get on grass. And I get up and I tell them they got to get a good mouthful of it and be ready to eat that dirt. And that's the way my coaching staff, that's the way we all remember playing the game. And it just kind of takes you back when you get to that. But so we'll have our kids ready for that, and obviously they're ready they understand the routine on how to travel 3 hours and get off a bus and be ready to go. We'll go back and assess. A lot of people look at the scores, and one thing I'll be talking to our team about is don't have some perception of. Barnesville beat Union Local Week 10 by a large number. Well, when you look at the Wheelersburg Pirates, and this is what I told them, I said, everybody's perception is a 6-4 team, and they've lost 4 games playing an undefeated team. I said, reality is what we have to focus on, and we're going to go, show who we really are as a team, and that's what we were able to do Friday night. So we've got to make sure that we don't have any kind of perception in Union Local just because of some of the scores or things, opponents that they had. It's my understanding that their quarterback maybe was out with a concussion in that Week 10 game. So, that's something that we're going to have to assess and make sure that we recognize through our film study, what exactly they can do and learn about them. And our coaches will be doing that over the weekend and getting our kids ready throughout this week. And excited to be moving on to Week 12.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Thanks for calling in again, and we'll be talking to you. We'll be heading back up there to do your game with Union Local next week.
Thank you, Mark. And one last thing, I want to put a big shout-out to the Wheelersburg volleyball team who's playing today at 2 o'clock at Logan High School for a regional championship. Those ladies, behind them, and Berg Nation, I know, will be out supporting them. Or listening on the radio, or maybe the live streams if those are available to some of that. And then our soccer team will be playing for regional championship on Sunday at Athens High School at 12 o'clock noon. So 2 o'clock today and 12 o'clock on Sunday. The Berg train just working to keep rolling. So go Berg.
Just like a good athletic director would do. Thank you very much, Rob. We appreciate that. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thanks, Mark.
All right, that's Rob Woodward of the Wheelersburg Pirates, and we will continue with the Saturday Morning Sports Line on Fox Sports AM 1260 and 95.7 FM.
Just as the Wheelersburg McDonald's